I know I've only had this channel for a year, but I've been waiting 8 years to make this video.
Long have I waited.
Because it's over. The dynasty is over. It is finally over.
Thank God.
Thank you, God.
We've been suffering watching the Warriors win title after title after title, and it's done. The dynasty, it's over.
It's dead. Before we celebrate the downfall of the Warriors, though, if you haven't already, make sure you drop this video a like, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos. So it's Friday night. We just got done watching the Lakers kick the shit out of the Golden State Warriors in Game 6. They flattened them 122-101. This is the first time the Warriors have lost a playoff series that wasn't an NBA Finals since Steve Kerr took over, and their dynasty is dead.
It really is. I mean, Steph is as good as he's ever been. I think Steph is at his peak, basically. But Draymond, Klay, and then Jordan Poole, how bad he's been. Like, they don't have anyone around Steph. It's just Steph now.
It's Steph. And even when it's just Steph, like we saw tonight, the lack of supporting cast he had hurt him big time. He led them in scoring. He had 32. He was 11 of 28 shooting, 4 of 14 from 3, and he had 4 turnovers.
Okay, Steph deserves this, though, because this dude has had the most stacked supporting cast of any superstar ever.
Oh, it's not even close.
So he deserves this. It's like, now you know how it feels. Now you know how LeBron felt, or KD, or all these other guys felt, where it's just you.
And what we're really saying is, now you know what it feels like to be Damian Lillard.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how it feels, Steph. Doesn't feel good, does it?
The only players that really helped him tonight were Looney, 9 points, 18 boards, nice Looney. DiVincenzo scored 16, but that's about it.
Yeah, everyone else was horrible. Game 6 Klay, who we just made a video about, literally came out this morning. At the end of that, we're like,
so Warriors versus Lakers, Game 6 is tonight. You think we're gonna get another iconic performance from Klay?
God, I hope not. He was beyond terrible.
Yeah, he was so... Game 6 Klay, it's done.
It's over.
I mean, he was already bad against the Kings. It was shaky, you know, even making the video. It's done. That was pathetic. He airballed the 3 at one point. He started like 1 of 7. He was bricking everything. That dude was trash.
3 of 19 shooting, 8 points, 2 of 12 from 3, and a team worst minus 33. When he was on the court. And this is especially hilarious because Klay was talking before the series about how he's so excited to play against the Lakers. He grew up a Lakers fan. His dad played for the Lakers, and he was horrific this entire series.
I just love to see it because Klay is so damn annoying. Like, he's so cocky for no reason.
What, you weren't a fan of his 1, 2, 3, 4 celebration?
That shit was so annoying. How many times did we have to see that?
We're talking about how bad Klay Thompson was. Jordan Poole was somehow even worse. 0 points and 4 fouls at halftime? Like, how does Jordan Poole pick up 4 fouls in 1 half?
I mean, he's just not really a smart player. He's talented, not very smart on the court though.
No.
And how are the Warriors, the front office, the fan base, the teammates feeling? You locked this guy up to a huge extension in the offseason. You just won a ring. He looked great last year. And then he comes back with this season where he was just way worse than last year.
Well, something happened to him in the offseason, which we'll get into a little bit. But I mean, he finished this game with 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Wiggins, who I was touch and go whether he was going to even play this game, 6 points on 2 of 8 showing. He was a no-show.
I mean, they shot 38% from the field, and the Golden State Warriors, the best shooting team ever, shoots 27% from 3.
Well, when the best 2 shooters in NBA history shoot 6 of 26.
Yeah.
I think DiVincenzo was like 4 of 8 or something, so he shot well. Everyone else couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
And what was so funny about this, what I love about this, the whole national media, and I guess you can even rope us into that for that Klay video, but everyone was like, oh, the Warriors are in a great spot. Like, I still think the Warriors are winning this series. They're getting revenge on LeBron for 3-1. Like Shaq did the other night. They asked him, how should the Warriors feel right now? And he's like, they should feel great.
What are their chances?
Oh, still
Great.
What?
It's like, how?
Feel great about being down 3-2 going on the road?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, at this point in the series, you're in the worst possible situation you could be. Down 3-2 going on the road.
And LeBron ain't losing a closeout game at home. Like, get out of here. This ain't Steph Curry who blows 3-1 leads. This ain't Kevin Durant blowing a 3-1 lead. LeBron James don't do that.
No. The team this whole game, though, like, they just lacked any kind of spark on both offense and defense. I mean, that's kind of been the story for them on the road all season. For as much championship pedigree as they have, like, they're a weirdly undisciplined team. They committed 30 fouls to the Lakers 17.
Yeah, they really are. And they kind of regressed big time. Like, they do not look like the same team as last year. They didn't really lose any players, though. They were way worse on defense. And for a second, it kind of looked like they had a chance. They started off terrible, but then what? They cut the lead to like 5 at one point. I was like, oh no, are the Warriors gonna pull back in this game? No. Austin Reeves said, no, you guys are not doing that.
Well, you sent that text to me after Curry hit that and one. You're like, this is not a good sign.
Yeah.
And it never got better for the Warriors from there.
No. And the game was over. The dagger to me is when Austin Reeves hit that half-court shot.
At halftime.
Yeah, once
the
that
dagger was at halftime?
Yeah, once that went, and I was like, yeah, Lakers ain't losing this game. I mean, everybody felt that, though. Come on.
Where do the Warriors go from here, though? Look, they were inconsistent all year. Steph, like we mentioned at the beginning, he's still an offensive juggernaut. He proved that against the Kings, especially that game 7 where we had 50. But this whole series, it was obvious the lack of support was getting to him. He averaged 26.7 points. That's down from 33.7 against the Kings. And he only shot 43.9% from the field and 43.3% from three. Not great numbers for him.
Yeah, he wasn't great. Like, honestly, Dennis Schroeder, shout out to him. He did get ejected this game, but
that was bullshit.
It was bullshit. But he played pretty good defense on Steph. And my whole thing with the Warriors, if they don't trade for another superstar, they're not going to win another title. If that doesn't happen, 2022 is the last ring they'll get in the Steph Curry era.
Well, yeah, when Klay is playing like he did, this whole series, 16.2 points per game, 43.3% from the field, 38.1% from three. He was terrible.
I think Klay was good in game 2. If I remember, he had like 30. I don't know how he shot, but that's the problem with Klay these days. He'll have one good game, and then the next 2 games, he'll play like absolute shit.
Gotta have 2 shit games to have one good game at this point.
Like, this ain't the Klay Thompson back in the day, the 60 points in 29 minutes. Like, that dude's done. That was 2 ACL injuries ago.
Poole, though. Oh, boy. Averaged 8.3 points per game in this series. Really, the only game he played was in game 1, where he scored 21 points. Kind of cost them the game at the end, though, with a just dumb as shit shot. I am baffled at how many people defended his decision to take that shot. That is a horrible shot. And he fell out of the rotation after that.
I mean, this is the thing with the Warriors. They kind of knew, like, yeah, Steph, Klay, Draymond, they're getting older. We need some young guys to step up. So you have Poole, you draft Wiseman, you got Moody, you got Kuminga. The problem is, none of their young players have progressed like they thought they'd be.
Poole, I think, has been fine because he's a very good player for what they got him in the first round. Like, he's a good player. But for what they paid him for, because his extension has not kicked in. It kicks in next year at basically $30 million a year for 4 years. Shot 34.5% from the field, 25% from three. Showed horrible body language after being subbed off in game 4. A game he scored 0 points in, by the way.
Well, the question is, are they going to be paying him? Or is that Jordan Poole's last game as a Warrior?
We'll get into that. But you look at this team outside of that, they've got even more decisions to make. Draymond, apparently, according to Shams, they're going to try to sign him to either an extension or just an outright new deal. Apparently, they're going to ask Klay Thompson to take a pay cut if he signs an extension this summer. He's not gonna like that. And I personally think Draymond and Jordan Poole cannot be on this team together. I mean, Draymond was in the post-game press conference and a reporter asked him like, so what went wrong throughout the season? And Draymond's like, oh yeah, no, a bunch of stuff went wrong. And I'm like, oh really? Like when you punched your teammate in preseason?
I guess Jordan did to Steve Kerr maybe, but it's kind of a rare thing to do.
And Steve Kerr is far more mature than Jordan Poole will ever be.
Yeah, exactly.
And Draymond will ever be. That's the exception. It's not the rule. So I don't want anyone throwing that at us and be like, well, Jordan and Steve Kerr did it. It's like, yeah, there's a reason no one else has.
It sounds like from the reports coming out after the game, we'll see what happens. They're gonna keep the big 3 together. And I get that. I mean, they've won titles before. They've had bounce back years before. But just Klay and Draymond, like these guys are like 50% of the players they used to be, it feels like.
Yeah, but I feel like the Warriors, especially considering they had like barely any success before these guys came along, as long as they want to keep wearing the Warriors jerseys, I think they're going to keep them around.
The big thing is though, how do they upgrade the roster with just their massive contracts?
So here's the neat thing. they don't.
So they're just not going to get better, and they're just going to what? Like keep getting the 6th seed and lose in the 1st or 2nd round?
Ideally. And also, the new CBA that goes into effect next year is going to punish the Warriors severely. For anyone who doesn't know, if you're $17.5 million over the luxury tax line under the new CBA, you don't get a mid-level exception. And the Warriors will be unless they ditch like $30 million of salary for nothing.
And what? They got DiVincenzo as their mid-level this year, right? So they wouldn't have been able to get him. And like mid-level is huge to upgrading your team.
Yeah, going forward, you know, I think as long as you have Steph, you're going to be at least competitive because he's that good. He is an offense in and of himself. But Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, they're not getting any better. And I think if they keep this core together, first of all, I think Warriors fans would like to keep this core together. I think Warriors fans probably want to see all 3 of these guys retire as Warriors, but they're not winning another championship. Unless they ditch Jordan Poole and he was the cause of all their problems, which I don't think he was, and they just completely turn around, fine. That's not going to happen though.
I'm a little bit nervous to completely count them out because it's the Golden State Warriors. They got some sort of trick up their sleeve. Maybe they could go all in for Embiid if he wants out, but if that doesn't happen, they don't get another superstar with Steph. I don't think they win another ring.
And I'm completely fine with that.
Oh, I'd love that.
It'd be the best, wouldn't it?
Yeah, finally. Like we see them win damn near every other year. Like I'm tired of it.
And always at our expense, it feels like.
Yep, they always beat the Blazers, my favorite team, then they beat LeBron, except for this year, my favorite player, so it just sucks.
All they need to do is beat the Knicks in the finals.
Oh, God. Don't even bring it up. Don't speak it into existence.
That's the video, guys. What do you think the Warriors are going to do going forward? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, as it really does help us out. And while you're here, why not check out some of our other videos as well? And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.